Hi, I'm Terry Moore with The Unified Path. In our series on readings, one may read the writings of saints, sages, and scholars within all of the various forms of spirituality in order to engage the soul. Towards this end, you can begin with the world's great major religions, and I also want to make a few suggestions also. Let's start with Taoism and the classic book The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. I prefer the one translated by Stephen Mitchell. As stated in one section, and I quote, "The Tao is called the Great Mother, empty yet inexhaustible. It gives birth to infinite worlds. It is always present within you. You can use it any way you want." Also known as the Book of the Way, this 81-chapter book provides advice on balance and perspective and teaches one how to work with the effortless skill of being aligned with the Tao, the basic principle of the universe. This definitive translation provides an accessible understanding of this classic guide for living. Now in Buddhism, I'd like to look at Madhyamaka Buddhism and the book How to See Yourself as You Really Are by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, with an introduction by Jeffrey Hopkins. According to Tibetan doxographical literature, Madhyamaka represents the philosophically definitive expression of Buddhist doctrine. For those listeners familiar with Vedanta, I might say that Madhyamaka is to Buddhism what Vedanta is to Hinduism. According to the Dalai Lama, we each possess the ability to achieve happiness and a meaningful life. The key to realizing that is self-knowledge. In this book, he shows you how to embrace oneself and the world from a more realistic and loving perspective. Using step-by-step exercises, he explains how, through meditative concentration and love, one can attain enlightenment. Now, let's look at the direct path, or Advaita Vedanta, and the book, and this is the title, Notes on Spiritual Discourses of Shri Atmananda. Shri Atmananda was a sage who lived in Kerala State, India, and passed away in 1959. His worldly name was Krishna Menon, and he served as a respected police constable. Along with Ramana Maharshi and Nasr Maharaj, Shri Atmananda was one of the great independent Indian sages of the 20th century. The notes in this book were taken in the last 9 years of his life by a close disciple named Nityatripta. These short and masterful talks by one of the great sages of the modern world relay the ideas on realizing the truth through a recognition that our nature is always pure consciousness. Let me also mention my own works, particularly the book Knowing Yourself, which is a series of exercises in that very topic of knowing yourself, and also my latest book, just released, Doors to Awareness, Meditations on the Real, in which I try to provide a number of practical exercises that are usable in the unified path for realizing all of the elements of the soul. Both of these books are now available on Amazon. Also, I'd like to suggest books by other classic authors, such as Gandhi, Thich Nhat Hanh, Jack Kornfield, Harold Kushner, C.S. Lewis, Thomas Merton, Thomas More, Seyyed Hossein Nasr, and Pope John Paul II. Now, I'd like to find out what you're reading and what you find nourishing for your soul. Please leave some comments below. I'd really like to know that. And like and subscribe, and until next time, remember, body, mind, heart, soul, one.